G'day YouTube, NecroarcanistXIII back again. Now, since the recording of Hell's Crusade Chapter 20, I promised that I'll be uploading more regularly, but surprise the fucking prize, the microphone port on my laptop broke down. And since then I've had to buy a new laptop, but as it turned out it did not have separate ports for headphones and microphones. They're both merged into one. So I've had to track down a compatible single plug headset. It's taken me a while, but I finally managed it. Anyway, if you've been listening to the Necrosi Chronicles at all, you'd know that I try to use specific songs for specific characters, but I always end up trying to figure out what would be the best song for each character. Well, now I'm going to set in stone the official theme songs for Hell's Crusade, starting with the overall plot and the main focus characters. However, to match these songs up to their characters, I'm gonna have to explain how it fits into their backstory. So, if you haven't yet listened to the full series so far, then I advise you do, and pay some attention. I know it can be hard to listen to me dribble on for an hour, but hey, I spent 3 years writing Hell's Crusade and its 4 sequels. The main reason I started doing YouTube in the first place was to create episodes to share online, so the people out there can view my work. So, let's kick off with the Necrosi Chronicles Hell's Crusade theme songs part 1, and remember, spoiler alert. Close this video now, and go listen to chapters 1 through 20 if you have not done so yet. And by the way, sorry if I sound like a pony because I've either picked up the flu or a sinus infection and I'm a little hoarse. I hate myself. Hell's Crusade is about the country of Australia being taken over by a ruthless neo-Nazi government, driving the townspeople into homelessness and poverty. The only way to earn enough wage for a living and have enough to eat is to turn your back on the people you once loved, and work for the Empire, gunning down any signs of rebellion without question. If you refuse to do as you are told, everybody you love will be torn apart and thrown at your feet. Refuse still and you're executed yourself. This is why the main theme of Hell's Crusade is Land of Confusion, a song originally written by Genesis but covered and made more popular by Disturbed. Now there is actually a music video to go along with the cover song, but due to copyright issues I can't actually play any of the music video. Thank you WGM. The gist is essentially the same though. A nation driven into the dirt by a domineering establishment begins to fight back against the government. A hero, in this case Disturbed's mascot known only as The Guy, rises from the darkness to lead the charge and topples everything that tries to stop him. In that exact same sense, Disturbed's music video for The Vengeful One is applicable due to the narrative being about a world corrupted and brainwashed through the media. But the song in itself does not match the story of Hell's Crusade as much as Land of Confusion. In the year 2014, a small-town high school student discovers the crystallized soul of a demon named Diabolos. They enter a pact, in which Diabolos parasitically fuses his soul with the young man's heart, twisting him into a half-demon abomination capable of powerful sorceries never seen before by his kind. Over the years, these powers are used to end wars and scourge the world of those who corrupt it. Along the way, for every friend that John loses to the conflict, 10 enemies take their place, and every head of the Hydra he cuts down grows back in pairs or threes. The withered John attempts to walk away from his checkered past, settle down and raise a family. But the threat of a despot taking control of the nation puts him in a tough situation. He pulls strings to have his beloved, unnamed spouse sent to another planet, far away from a home, being driven into the ground. Amongst the ruins, living off of the life savings the scarred John had to bloody his hands for, he trains his children to fight oppression, while he gathers his remaining trustable allies to conspire against the powers that be. John's theme is Five-Fingered Death Punch's Battleborn, for it matches the long harsh journey that he has travelled to get so far, and the uncertainty of what is to come. The wars have taken a toll on his heart, slowly growing to the point where he is beginning to question whether he is still a human made to love, or a monster made to kill.
Once upon a time, I swore I had a heart. Long before the world I know tore it all apart. Once upon a time there was a part of me I shared. Years before they took away the part of me that cared. I've been 1,000 places and shook a million hands. I don't know where I'm going, but I know just where I've been. I've flown a million miles and I wrote so many more. Every day a castaway, a vagabond, battleborn.
A child born to die who lives dead inside. Raziel shuns the daylight and stalks the alleyways. He can barely remember the days that his hometown lived in peace, but now he only knows corruption and fear. He chooses to embody everything that his homeland has become, becoming a creature of shadow, nightmares made flesh. He was born into darkness and moulded by it to become the Night Walker. Trained by his father to become a master assassin, this demonic pseudo-vampire is swift, agile and wields sickle blades perfect for harvesting the blood that gives him sustenance. He has trouble seeing himself as human, but is reminded every day that the simple fact he cares for other human beings makes him less of a monster he believes himself to be. His twin brother is always running into trouble. His baby brother is mentally disabled and inept at surviving on his own. And his adopted little sister has emotional problems that play tricks on her sanity. Not to mention their father is an extreme alcoholic, drinking to the point where most men would die just to numb his painful memories. Raziel's theme is Judas Priest's Night Walker, and not only to allude to his given title, his family is the only thing he has to live for, and anybody who dares mess with the vampire's family will soon be expecting a visit from the Hunter of the Dark. Some have a saying, if Raziel decides to kill you, then you were dead the second the thought crossed his mind.
Hiding in the darkness is so futile from its glare. Death comes in an instant, as they hoped it would. Souls ascend to heaven, while it feasts on flesh and blood.
A fallen angel with an egotistical streak as long as his silver hair, master of the katana and world-class sprinter that could put Usain Bolt to shame. Dante de Paravir is playful, arrogant, selfish, sexist, and as his father would say, an ass. However, deep down he greatly cares for his siblings, sticking by their side no matter the argument, unless the argument was that he needed a haircut. He tries, and fails, to impress women with a bad boy attitude that ends up getting him into fights with the boyfriends, and he is quick to anger. In his father's eyes, the only good thing about Dante is his excessive love of violence, which makes him all the more dangerous in single confrontation. However, he is also an easy target of bullying due to being prettier than his own adopted sister, and the fact he steals her makeup and wastes a lot of money on various hair products. However, Dante's overwhelming narcissism is made up for with the sheer number of enemy soldiers he has butchered. His main theme is Iron Maiden's The Fallen Angel. The song in Dante's context alludes to his ego in play but also his own internal battles, believing that, in the end, he can only depend on himself.
You alone, God will know what can be done. You alone, God will know I am the only one. You alone, God will know what can be done. You alone, God will know I am the chosen one. Could it be it's the end of my world? All the things that we cherish and love. Nothing left but to face this all on my own. 'Cause I am the chosen one. Could it be it's the end?
The family baby, yet a giant among men with a lion's heart, standing a clear foot and a half taller than his closest competition, his sheer brute muscle making him almost as wide. Born with mental defects, Vincent the Dreadnought is unable to function well on his own and usually requires his brothers to help him with complex tasks he cannot manage. The others see Vincent's might as a blessing, for he can run through walls made of reinforced concrete like a runaway train, and rip open armoured attack vehicles to kill the drivers inside. However, Vincent is truthfully scared of his own strength. He is lonely because he believes that even if there was somebody out there who could see past his intimidating size and stature, he'll only end up hurting them in the end, and so he has given in to his own depression, too scared to tell his family because of what they might think of him. Despite this, he stands behind them all as the tank, throwing himself headfirst into danger as a meat shield, as given his large size, he can survive blows they cannot. Instead of flesh and bone, he may as well be made of solid steel. Vincent's theme is Rammstein's Haifisch. While natively spoken in German, one might imagine that it resembles how the machinations of Vincent's mind are unintelligible to his family. He may as well be the one speaking only German in a house of people who can only speak English. Translated and applied to Vincent, the song's main verses match his loyalty to his family, but the chorus ties to the side of him they cannot see. Inside his tough outer shell, he's really just a scared little boy who wants people to accept him for who he is.
Wir halten zusammen, wir halten miteinander aus, wir halten zueinander, niemand hält uns auf, wir halten euch die Treue, wir halten daran fest und halten uns an Regeln, wenn man uns regeln lässt. Und der Haifisch, der hat Tränen und die laufen vom Gesicht. Doch der Haifisch lebt im Wasser, so die Tränen sieht man nicht.
Born from the daughter of Satan and the Archangel of War, Adele and her twin sister Kyra were born to become human sacrifices by their evil mother. At the age of 5, the succubus took her offspring into the middle of the woods to murder them. But their father, who had been held prisoner for that time, managed to break free and intervene. The angel was previously engaged to a human witch, and with his disappearance, his fiancée enlisted John the Arcanist to find him. When he finally found his target, the archangel was murdered by the Antichristus. He engaged her in battle that lasted for hours, but just when she was about to suffer defeat, she decided to escape and took Kyra with her, leaving Adele behind to die. John took her home and raised her like his own child, but their relationship was tough due to Adele being extremely shy and timid. However, her brothers made sure to help her blend into society, and as she grew older, Adele developed a sense of pride about her angelic half that she defends fervently. Anybody that dared compare her to the likes of her selfish demonic mother soon learned that behind Adele's shy exterior there was hatred of the tainted blood in her body that fueled repressed anger. And when Adele releases that anger upon them, her wrath might as well be from God's own hand. Adele's theme is Archenemy's Burning Angel. The screaming tone that made Archenemy famous, especially since the lead singer is usually a woman, effectively matches Adele's inner anger, and the lyrics refer to the way she is mistreated by the judgment of her peers. No matter how hard Adele tries to maintain a sense of purity and innocence, there are always those who bring her down to their level. The last known living survivor of a tribe of Russian werewolves, Saberfang Tindalos, was adopted by John when the latter was only 19, a soldier serving his country in enemy territory. Separated from his allies, John stumbled across the pack being consumed by a demonic plague that turned them into monsters, a virus that Fang calls the Nemesis. A stoic, intelligent creature, the wolf is quick-thinking and wise in the matters of warfare. Like Adele, Fang has a huge sense of pride regarding his heritage, especially since he is actually the youngest son of his tribe's alpha male, effectively making him a prince of the Tindalos werewolves. Saberfang's theme is Metallica's All Night Metalong, which in an official statement by the band themselves are based on the hounds of Tindalos, creatures from the Cthulhu mythos as written by H.P. Lovecraft. The hounds are said to come from the distant past of the Earth, and are said to inhabit the angles of space-time, whereas humans inhabit the curves. They hunt down and kill humans who become aware of their presence, and can walk through space and time to kill their prey. The song itself matches the last Tindalos in Hell's Crusade, not only through the lyrics describing his killer animal instincts, but also metaphorically how he is chased down by the ghosts of his past in his dreams, all nightmare long.
Runs out.
Crawl from the wreckage one more time. Horrific memory twist the mind. Dark-blooded, cold and hard to turn. Path of destruction, feel it burn. Still life, incarnation. Still life, infamy. Hallucination, heresy. Still you run. What's to come? What's to be? We hunt you down without mercy. Hunt you down all nightmare long. Feel our brain upon your face. Feel our shift every move we trace. Hunt you down without mercy. Hunt you down all nightmare long. Yeah. Looks, runs. And you crawl again, but your luck runs out time.
And that's it for now. I'll cover the other main characters after the next few episodes, and after I wrap up the first book, I'll release an episode on the villains before I begin work on the second book. There's literally 12 or so episodes left for Hell's Crusade, and story-wise, 3 generations of shit-splattered fans are about to fall into a bucket of shit, which is about to be thrown at an even bigger fan. Music used in this video is in the description below. Be sure to check out more from me and my online pals. Links to each of their channels as well. I'll absolutely try to have the next Necrosi Chronicles out soon. So until next time, this is NecroarcanistXIII signing off. Stay classy, YouTube.